Observe the tongue or pole between the two girls, between their legs. It's not very far off the ground. It's about even with their hocks.
There we are. That's my girls.
The tongue performs a number of functions in a horse-drawn vehicle. It balances the load. In a two-wheel vehicle like this one, the wheels and axles have to be arranged so that the load is forward. With this design, there actually is a design used in Africa and Asia where the load is behind the axle, and that's too foreign to me, so I don't know how to do that. But this is how we do it. That carries a portion of the load. The wheels and axle carry most of the load, but that tongue carries a portion of it and balances it. It enables the girls to steer the load, and it enables them to back the load when they uh, come back. That's how they back. It's pushed from the front of the pole. The whole cart is pushed by those straps you see there across their behinds. But those straps hook up under there in front of their legs, and it goes up forward, and there's this deal, and that pushes the pole back. But meanwhile, the problem we're having now, if you observe the tongue adjacent to Clara's leg, when they try to turn that direction, when they turn either direction, whoever's on the inside of the turn, or the outside of the turn, whatever side that is, the tongue bangs against their legs. Now, I'm asking them to walk sideways, which isn't the easiest thing in the world anyway. And to be able to walk sideways when you can't take a full step before something hits you on the back leg, that's an obstacle and it's a problem. So I'm thinking, that's my problem. I need to design out of that. That's not their flaw. That's my flaw. You can see here how the tongue is carried it's carried by their collars. So the weight of the tongue is carried by the backs of their necks. And it's carried that way by a bar that goes crosswise between them. You can see it much better here. It's called a neck yoke. There's straps. You can't see all the pieces in this photo, but those are that thing's hung by rings on each end of that orange bar. And then another ring hangs from that orange bar, and the pole is pushed through that ring and hangs by that ring. So altogether, there's a lot of slack there. That piece was designed for draft horses. This is draft horse harness design because it's the only design I know. I learned on draft horses. And so I'm thinking what I can do to fix that. If you look again at this picture, you see that I can't raise the connection on the cart without raising the connection on the neck yoke, because already the cart slants down considerably towards them. If I raise the connection back there, it would just slant down more. So I need to address this problem at the neck yoke point. And I think what I'm going to try to do is rearrange this so that the tongue can ride on top of the neck yoke instead of hanging below it. And that way, that will raise the front end up. Now, then I will have to modify the attachment on the cart, but that's not a big deal. I can redo that, surely. That can't be too complicated. So that should simplify the process of turning the two-wheeled cart around for them. And if I can simplify that process, they will do it even better. And I'm very pleased with how they do it already. So it's all a learning process for all of us. We just go on doing the best we can. Thanks for coming along.
Proud of you guys. You're so good. Yes, I am. I'm so proud of you. You're so good. I'm so proud of you. Yes, an old man, he waits so good. He does. He waits so good.